I've been very blessed because I have served around the world and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. The majority of my time has been in small units, specialized units, such as Green Berets. And it was in Iraq where, while conducting an offensive operation, I was struck by a mortar round. I spent several weeks in the ICU. I was given the news that I'd be blind for the rest of my life. So you can imagine what goes through your mind after receiving that sort of news. It's a flood of emotion. Anger, depression, survivor's guilt. Immediately I thought my world had come to an end. You know, all I wanted to do was be a Green Beret and deploy. I was laying there in the hospital and a resident came in, and this nurse, and they had just ran the Marine Corps Marathon. I said, "Hey, can you tell me about the Marine Corps Marathon? Is this something that I could do?" And he thought that I was heavily sedated, and he just said, "Oh yeah, you could do that, no worries." And he kept on. And I could tell that he just blew me off. You know, he just said, "Oh yeah, you could do that." You got to realize that I was so long, in ICU, sedated, that I had lost so much muscle. I lost about 50 pounds of muscle. And weeks later, I gained 70 pounds of fat. I mean, I had lost a lot of muscle in my legs. It took about 3 people to stand me up the first time out of bed for about 2 seconds. That was my first physical therapy session. 2 seconds. And it was just to put my feet on the ground and stand up. I basically had to relearn how to walk. To tell you, I have had over 40 surgeries in my body. Major surgeries. So every time I do physical therapy, I double up on my physical therapy, my occupational therapy. I decided to eat a healthy diet, double up on my cardiovascular and resistance training. And I started off on a recumbent bike, then an up straight bike, and then it was a spin bike, and then it was an elliptical. And then I remember the first time I got on a treadmill, I put pillows all over it. I put bands on my waist. I had a belt. I strapped bands, those resistance bands, bungee cords on all sides. I tried to run. I couldn't run on that thing. I took all that crap and threw it away. And I just started running on a treadmill, just holding on to it, And then I recruited a buddy of mine to go ahead and take me out on a track. And we went around the track, we stumbled, we fell, and finally we figured out a way to how to run, and that was with a shoelace, and side by side. And believe it or not, after a year of training, I ran the Marine Corps Marathon, and that was it. I caught the bug. And I can tell you, to this day, in like 9 years, I've done over 60 marathons up to now, and I've done a couple of 50-milers. I've done a number of triathlons. I skied to the South Pole with Prince Harry in 2013. I think working out for me is my outlet. I attribute fitness as something that saved my life and kept me sane and kept me moving forward, So with that, I'm excited really to run Rock the Ridge. I think we're going to have a great time, and it's for a good cause, to raise funds for the preserve so we can keep this in, not only for our generation, but for generations to come.